Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Saturday night. Once again, we're back. So happy to be back. It is another beautiful Saturday night, and it is another beautiful Saturday night for a Dynasty startup mock draft. Let's go. Who am I hanging out with? Let me know in the chat. We've got Rick in here early as always. Shout out Rick, my guy, and Jerry Bob. Jerry Bob, hey man, better late than never, is what I always say. 2 weeks in a row, Jerry Bob. Well, first week Jerry Bob misses the mock drafts because he was late. Second week Jerry Bob almost misses the mock drafts, but then comes to the gets in the last mock draft. We happened to do 3 last week instead of 2. And now he's here right on time. You love to see it. T. Gotzi, what is going on? Cryptic Rocket, Saturday night. Nolly, what is going on? I'm so pumped to be here. We're going to have an absolute blast tonight doing a Dynasty startup mock draft. And right off the bat, for everybody that's here early, that link's coming to you in the chat. Bang, right now. Hop in. Your boy's going to be drafting out of the 8 spot. Hop in there. Brady, no losers in this stream. I don't know what you're talking about. No losers in this stream. There is nowhere else I would rather be on this beautiful Saturday than right here with all of you. All right? No losers in this stream. What I'd like to do before we get started here, as that mock draft fills up, there's some news to talk about. Actually, really quick, I'm going to be reiterating this over and over again throughout the stream. But to start us off, I was thinking about, we are now, what did I put in the poll? 12 days away from NFL Draft Night. By the way, like the stream. Leave a like on the stream. Let's get it pushed out to as many Dynasty Fantasy Football fans as we can. Brizzleton, what is going on, my man? Yeah, so I was debating over the past few weeks, what am I going to do for the draft? Am I going to stream the first round? Am I not going to stream the first round? What am I going to do? And basically, this is the conclusion that I've come to. And I am open to changing this, but I've thought about this a good amount, and this is where I'm at. I don't want to stream round 1 for a few reasons. The first being, you're just waiting for the next player, the next fantasy player to get drafted, right? Over, like, Love's gonna go, and then Tate's gonna go, and then, we're just waiting for stuff, right? And it's long. It is really, really long. I have no idea. Like, it's normally like 3.5, 4 hours. So I'm just worried there's not gonna be enough to talk about. What I want, and the other thing is that everybody and their mom and their dog streams round 1. Right? There are so many options for you guys to be watching, for me to be watching, right? I love watching just the broadcast, but I do like, depends if I'm, watching with anybody else in person, but if I'm just watching it by myself, I like to have some sort of stream up just to hear what people are saying. I'm also an NFL fan at large, so I like to hear about the other stuff. So, it's super long. There's so many other streams happening. So what I want to do is I think I'm going to forego round 1, but I think I'll stream for day 2. Friday night. It'll be about as long, maybe a little longer, but I'll be able to give you, I'll probably release a video Friday morning, right? Or if not Friday morning, Friday afternoon, after round 1, recapping round 1, but on Friday night, we'll not only be able to talk about everything that happened in round 1, we will also be able to talk about all of the picks in round 2. We'll be able to do rookie mock drafts as the picks come off the board. Maybe we do some startup mocks with rookie picks, given the changes and stuff. I just think round 2 and round 3, there will be stuff happening, and we will have the previous day to talk about. And I think there'll be less people streaming for day 2 as there are for day 1. You and Zach should do the first round. Yeah, I talked to Zach, And he kind of feels the same. He feels the same way that I do about, you know, there's just so many options for streams to watch. It's kind of like, you know, it's a difficult thing. I do think we would have a great time, but it's so long too. Like at some point, what if like no fantasy relevant player goes off the board for like 20 picks? Zach is going to be live right after the draft. The problem for me, T-Gotzi, is the problem for me with that is that it ends at like 11 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to go like, I'm going to be live after the draft for 2 hours until 1 in the morning to then wake up and need to make a video. So, Rick, we could talk about Mendoza all day. Your Raiders fandom surely doesn't go into that bias there. I like that plan. Day 2 is awesome. I like day 2 as well, and I think that there's less people that will be streaming for that. Let him cook. Yeah, let me cook, man. Let me cook. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then I won't be streaming on Saturday. I won't stream for day 3 because, you know, it's so long, and I guess I could stream that Saturday night again. Because the draft will be over by Saturday night. Normally it goes like noon to like 5 or 6, right? Eastern. This is very funny. Hey guys, I'm doing my own thing. I don't wanna I love Zach. I have a blast on Monday night. But I wanna make my own thing. Plus he's killing it. And I'm gonna piggyback off of his success. Tom Lloyd, I'm as happy to see you, brother. Okay. Let's get into the news that isn't news. I have been going insane over the past few days. Okay, this is 2 days ago. The Jaguars expect Travis Hunter, Torres, whatever, to operate as a full-time CB and part-time wide receiver per Ian Rappaport. No longer a 50-50 split. Okay? This Sleeper NFL account is a great aggregator, okay? And what you need to know about X, if you're not familiar, the Everything app, formerly Twitter, formerly a good app. There is nothing on this app matters besides clicks, okay? The report that Ian Rappaport is addressing in his clip on, you know, whatever it was, like NFL Today, whatever it was, in his clip, when he was talking, he is referencing the exact same Cameron Wolfe report from February. The same one, which is referencing what James Gladstone said in January. No new information has come out about this at all. Nothing new. Okay? James Gladstone said, we want this guy to be a two-way player. It is apparent to see that we have more expiring contracts on defense in the cornerback room than we do on offense in the wide receiver room, right? Anybody can see that Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas, there's a lot going on there. The Jags cornerback room, not so solid. Everyone can see that. That is plain to see. So, and then he said because of that, there will be a bigger emphasis on the defensive side of the ball. Cameron Wolfe then reported on this and wrote a story about it in February, and now Ian Rappaport is referencing that. There was never said it's no longer a 50-50 split. This was never said by anybody. Okay? Corey, shout out Corey, FSC, does a really good job. He quote tweets this John Shipley article, which I would recommend you to go read. Okay? I'll repost it. I'll recommend you to go read that. He basically details the exact thing that I just laid out for you. But Corey says this article will get 1/100th the amount of traction that random aggregators got on their Travis Hunter takes, but people like John, who covered the team, John Shipley, are the only voices you should care about outside of the GM, head coach, OC, Trevor Lawrence, and Travis Hunter himself. All that article basically says is that this is just what James Gladstone said in January being reiterated for the 4th time, and then everybody ran with it. Okay, so I'm still buying Travis Hunter. He's going for like mid-second round picks in like the worst draft class we've seen in years. Okay, like please, we can't be doing this. T-Gotzi, see the comments about Gladstone talking about day 1 of the draft makes me think they could make a move and get into round 1. BTJ gone. Honestly, Tigazzi, I would be absolutely floored at this point if Brian Thomas Jr. was worth a first round pick. I don't think a team sends a 1 for him. Last year was just so bad. Like, I don't think a team sends a 1 for him. Rick, buy low is exactly right. Yeah, it's not even copium. I know, Brady, you're not trying to make fun of me here. It's not copium. This is just the facts. Like, I'm not. Look, I bought a ton of Travis Hunter after the initial price drop. I wish I would have waited, because there's been an even bigger price drop now. But yeah. Isaiah has a question. Where are we on this draft? We need one more spot, guys. 101, 103, or 103 Jacobs and AJ Brown. Wow. This is really hard. Here's what I'm worried about with the rookie picks. What if, like, Carnell Tate goes to the Browns at 6? Mekhi Lemon goes to the Jets at 16. Like, that 103 is now, like, you're taking one of those guys who are in terrible situations, or you're taking Carnell Tate or Fernando Mendoza. That's a big drop off from Jeremiah Love, man. I want to know what the chat thinks about this deal. Chat, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm leaning 101. I don't think this is enough. I don't think it's enough, honestly. No Sanders fall to the 5th on day 3. Day 3 will be less eventful this year. Honestly, yeah, no, 100%. That was the storyline of all storylines, and Mel Kiper's just going absolutely insane on the broadcast. Fake Hunter will be avenged. He absolutely, well, he didn't die, but I know what you mean. I completely agree, Tigazzi, until Cohen speaks. And, like, dude, you get to training camp and Travis Hunter's running routes besides, 30-year-old Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington. Who's going to look better? That's all I'm saying. Like, come on. What are we doing? I do think Travis Hunter would benefit a lot from a BTJ trade, I think, just because now there's that need for a third wide receiver. I've done some redraft best ball auctions and I've been getting Hunter for dirt. Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Tom, you do not need to be any sort of subscriber to get into the mock draft. All you need is to make an account, and making an account is completely free. And also, I am not affiliated with Land. So you definitely don't have to be a Land sub to get into my mock draft. 101 easy. Jerry would also take the 101. Yeah, I'm worried about AJ Brown. I talked about AJ Brown. Ooh, this is something I forgot to prepare for you. If anybody hasn't already, I posted this video yesterday talking about age 27 and up wide receivers. And yeah, I talked about AJ Brown. And I'm a little worried. Okay, we're going to get this mock draft going. I do have another piece of news to talk about, but we can wait on that. Let's get this mock draft going. Jacobs and AJB are only going to be decreasing value, 100%. It is a win now trade, and yeah, I would rather have Jeremiah Love. Tigazzi's going the 103 side. Way more exciting. Tom, we will do another one, so you can get into the other one. Brizzleton, honestly, well, look, we can talk about the Dontavian Wicks trade. Dontavian Wicks is traded to the Eagles. It was a 5th and a 6th. I believe he was traded for, and he signs a $12.5 million deal for 1 year. I think this says a few things. The Eagles think they might be without AJ Brown. The Eagles think they might be without AJ Brown, and so they're making arrangements for bringing in Dontavian Wicks. It just seems like it's written. Even Daniel Jeremiah is on like podcasts saying, "Oh, AJ Brown's a Patriot. AJ Brown's a Patriot." So we'll see. I think he probably does get traded. So yeah. Yeah, Tom, normally as the mock drafts are weird sometimes. Normally if you just refresh it, the links work. It could have been that you tried to get in and it was full. That's probably what it was. Joe just traded his Waddle and 202 for Cam Scatterbo and Ricky Pearsall. If Jeremiah Love is not a giant, I really like it. If Jeremiah Love is a giant, I hate it. Which is unfortunate. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels here. Any chance that there's absolutely a chance the Eagles go round one. I've seen links to Jordan Tyson. So yeah, no, they have some. Omar Cooper, I think is a decent fit. Even KC, I think could be a good fit there. Tom, as a Pats fan, I cannot wait to get AJ Brown to the team. Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. I said in my video, again over here the other day, that you guys, if you aren't one of these 1.2 thousand people, when this stream's done, throw it on. I said in the video that I'm a little worried he's lost a step, and I think that I'll probably take advantage of the spike in value depending on how big it is. K Bizzle. I traded DJ. I imagine that's DJ Moore. Is there any other DJs? I think that's it. Daniel Jones? You're going to have to clarify. Is it Daniel Jones or is it DJ Moore? Charbonnet and my 28 first for JT and the 408. Okay, if it's yeah. Either way, I think this is good. I'm not a huge fan of trading away like 2028 picks right now. I prefer moving my capital on contenders in season, but that's my philosophy thing. In terms of value, I think this is whether that's DJ Moore or Daniel Jones. It's DJ Moore. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor should be projects to be a top 6 running back the next 2 years. So, as a contender, I like the move for you. Waddle's about to ball out this year. I agree. Let's take Amarian Hampton and see what happens at quarterback. I do really like Waddle this year. Is anybody playing best ball and underdog right now? I am like dangerously invested at the moment. I'm hooked. I'm hooked on the pre-draft best ball. I got offered Lamb and Dart for Darnold and Puka. The other day, I turned it down, but wondering if it was a good turn down or if I should have jumped on it. Lamb and Dart for Darnold and Puka. Ugh, I'm doing that. This is a super flex? I'm making that move, and I'm probably trying to flip Lamb afterwards. But Dart, man. I mean, the upgrade from Darnold to Dart is way bigger than the downgrade from Puka to Lamb. So if you can still get that, see if you can get more. He offered that straight up, and you got rid of it the first time. Try and get more out of him. Okay, yeah. So Dontavian Wicks. So yeah, I think that the Eagles are kind of signaling that they need wide receiver help and that AJ Brown might be out the door. I don't think that this means he's 100% out the door. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this would be a Superflex half point tight end premium. It's a 12-team Superflex. Yeah, no, I would I would get that. I'm gonna finish my Wicks rant and then I'm gonna get to more comments. So I don't think this means he's getting traded. But it does fit the narrative, right? It absolutely fits the narrative. I think for the Packers, the fact that they let Romeo Doubs walk, don't sign anybody, and now they've traded Wicks, it's really like Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden, and then you have like Savion Williams, Bo Melton. But I think that they're happy with those three, right? Matthew Golden, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed. We'll see if they add anybody in the draft. I think I'm going to be on like Christian Watson for best ball. I think he'll go too high in redraft for me to be interested, and I'll probably be more in on Matthew Golden in redraft, and I think I'm avoiding Jaden Reed. He's just not my cup of tea, Jaden Reed. Okay. I'm all over the place here. The mock draft seems pretty normal. Jeremiah Love is RB3. Anything crazy? Amon-Ra at the 109 is confidence, which I like. Jalen Hurts again falling too far. Dart's probably too far as well. I'll take my boy Colson Loveland. I'm building my Atlas team here. Yeah, 102 goes at the 304. Yeah, so I think that this kind of shows that the Packers are pretty happy with where they're at with those three. That wide receiver room is going to be very interesting for fantasy. And I think it could largely, you know, it's going to be like you got to get that right if you want to do well in your league. I like seeing the Love Genty stack at the turn in mocks lately. Yeah, they're both really good targets. Yeah. You think I can get one of those top 3 wide receivers for Olave and Bucky? I doubt it. You probably need to pay more than that. You're not referencing anything else, are you, T-Gotsy? I don't think so. Yeah, I wanted Daniels and Lamb for Darnold and Puka. And he countered with Dart. I mean, Dart and Lamb is still a haul. Packers 100. They could, but they drafted Savion Williams in the 3rd round last year, and he didn't do anything. So they might draft a wide receiver in round 3 who doesn't do much, right? Chase Brown, I think he's a really good target. I don't think that there's a shot that Jeremiah Love makes it to 10. Even they brought him in on a visit, whatever. The Bengals brought in like 8 running backs on top 30 visits last year, and they drafted Taj Brooks in the 7th round. Kraft, I don't think this does much for Kraft. I know that you mean the Dobbs signing or the Wicks trade you're referencing. I mean, he was probably the #1 target before this. I don't think Wicks wasn't eating into any of Kraft's snaps or targets, I don't think. At least not in a meaningful way. Mahomes is my other QB. Wide receiver room is Puka, Nico, Christian Watson. So you have Mahomes, Darnold right now? Yeah, I'm making that move. I'm making that move 100%. I don't think Love falls to 10 either. Yeah, no. There's no way. There's no way he falls to 10. Okay. I'm about to be picking. It looks like some people watch my video because there is a certain 27-year-old wide receiver who donned the thumbnail of this that has fallen to me here, and I'm going to take him. That's funny because I did say Nico Collins was a sell. He's at the top of my he's on the top of my board here at the 408. I can do with leaning contender given my first 3 picks. Tom, love to see it. You love to see it. #1 buy right now. Travis Hunter. It's probably Travis Hunter. I think. Yeah, he is definitely the biggest discrepancy in where I value him and where I'm currently seeing him get traded for. So, yeah. I'm also trying to get off of Nico, but he's not currently really being valued at the 408. And I think like what I said in the video is that he'll be good. Because look, the Dynasty is a market, right? And you're trying to play the market. And the point with Nico is that he's not going to be a 4th round pick next year. He would have to have a nuts good season, like top 6 wide receiver finish, 18 points per game, and be healthy. To then, as a 28-year-old wide receiver, be a 4th round pick in startups. So it is way more likely than not that he falls out of this range in a year's time. But points matter, right? And like even if he scores 18 points per game, he still will probably not be a 4th round pick. Because if you look at all the wide receivers, there's not a single 28-year-old wide receiver that is going in the top 4 rounds. It just does not happen. Give me my boy. So the point with Nico is that he won't be this valuable next year. It does not mean you have to sell him. Right? That's not what that means. It just means you need to be aware that this is a descending asset. But points matter. Like, value doesn't win championships. See, like, if you're like Tigazzi and you think that he's just like not gonna produce, then you should absolutely sell him. I do think he probably has a good year. But there's risk baked in there, and like I would rather tear down to another asset. I would even like I said in the video, I'd rather go down. I'd rather get Jalen Waddle plus or T Higgins plus. Just get a plus on another 27-year-old wide receiver. But yeah. So we got a little running back run here. Tyler Warren then goes at the 507. Javonte Williams, who I think is... He's not really being valued in this range. I think he's incredibly undervalued right now. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna end this poll if I can manage. Can I? I'm not gonna be able to. Whatever. That's fine. See, Jerry, I think you should be getting a bigger ad. Rashee Rice, I think he's probably a... Rashee, it's so tough, man. Yeah, the big question, and we talked about this on Monday on Zach's stream. Do the Chiefs give this guy money? Because it's a question mark, to say the least, whether or not that happens. As a Rice owner, like, I'm not confident that he gets a bag in Kansas City. And because he's one of these guys who is very clearly reliant on the scheme and the way that the Chiefs use him, it's scary to see if he were to get a bag from, you know, some bottom 10 offense, and then he's not used in the same way, or it's not as effective. So, but like in 2026, he's got like a top 3 wide receiver ceiling. Like, undebatably. He's been producing at that mark since his bye week of his rookie season. Jalen Waddle, a good pick there. I like the Harold Fannin value for Joe Blacko. Joe Blacko just building dynasty teams how they were meant to be built. Double quarterback, Allen Mahomes, 3 young wide receivers, getting a 21-year-old tight end. You just love to see it. You really do. Okay, is Mr. Ghost going to ruin my night? He is. Oh, I wanted Baker. God. Mr. Ghost. You know how to... really just... Okay, we're going to go... Oh, I accidentally lost my rankings. Oh my gosh, what a value. Jameson Williams. Wide receiver 24 in the 6th round. JMO, this is my favorite format too. I like a start 10 with 3 wide receiver, 2 flex. Like, yeah, Donnie. Dude, this would be terrible. And I think, like, people would talk themselves into it. He's just not as good. Like, I genuinely haven't fully decided how I'm going to operate with this, because it's just the reality that he is not as good as, you know, the other guys that are producing at a top 6 clip. He's just not. He's just not. So that's fun. We get Nolan going AJ Brown, Devonta Smith at the turn. Who knows if they're on the same team? I saw this clip from the worst one that he said on the St. Brown podcast was that he put Oreo McFlurry on his cheeseburger from McDonald's. Which it was. Isn't that insane? McFlurry. He put ice cream on his cheeseburger with like ketchup on it. He runs more routes than a running back, but I get what you're saying. You're not wrong. Okay, I'm contending I need a QB2. I'm going to go Kyler in the 7th. I'm a big fan. What can I say? He may be okay if Kubiak is there. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about, Rice fits everywhere. But, yeah, like, it's a fact, like I've said, that he's not as talented as the other guys. And look, I'm a big Rice guy. You guys want to... No, not this. My teams. Hop into the mind of a Sammy Stacks for a second. Oh, you can't even see it. I did this last week. We'll do this after. Rice, but basically, if you can see that, I'm going to start by wide receivers, shares. Rice is second behind Jalen Lane for most exposures. I'm 31.6% exposed. So, like, I'm probably going to... I think I'm going to win a lot of championships in 2026, but I don't know what's going to happen after that. Jameson Williams likes hot dog flavored water. I'm not shocked. Hey man, whatever nutrition's him, is that the right way to say that? Whatever he needs to take him 80 yards to the house, I don't mind. You do you, bro. Do you think Devonta Smith? Yes, I do. You want to see something wild? Is this going to kill my stream? Going on any website that isn't flogfantasy.com. So, Brizzleton, this is nothing against you, but do we think that this wide receiver who put up 1,800 yards on 117 catches, do we think he can be a wide receiver 1? 23 touchdowns in 13 games. Won the Heisman? I don't know. Elijah, good pick. You probably could have got him later, though. Devonta Smith can absolutely be an alpha. Now, I worry about the... Now, you say operate and produce. The produce is the other question. Give me... These aren't my rankings. Give me Michael Wilson. Now, is the passing attack going to be good enough for him to actually be a wide receiver 1 for fantasy? I doubt it. And like, I've been a big proponent of Jalen Hurts is good and Jalen Hurts is going to be fine for fantasy. That's more on the fact that I think the rushing will return to normal and not necessarily just that he's going to be good again or he's going to be able to support, the passing game is going to be really good. But so I don't know. If Devonta Smith is like getting drafted as like a low end wide receiver 1 in redraft, I'm not going to be in on that. So he likes Limp Bizkit. Isn't that a band? How much do you think Rice falls if the Chiefs take Carlton on? A good amount, honestly. I don't know. You're talking Dynasty, obviously. I don't know how indicative that is of Rice though, because they are not like, out of the 3, Tate, Lemon, Tyson, Tate is the least stylistically similar to Rice. They wouldn't even play close to the same role. So I don't even want to know what that is. So he's one of the best wide receiver 2 for his team. I agree. That's college. Well, yeah, but if look, there's two different. Look, I went on the tangent of the producing thing, Brizzleton, and I don't necessarily think you meant, but a guy that puts up 1,800 yards in college, that guy can be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. A lot of your favorite wide receiver 1s in the NFL did not put up 1,800 yards in college. It does look like a Randy Moss stat line. Wait, so Your biggest buy is Travis Hunter. The guy who offered me Dart and Lamb has Hunter. Was going to see if you would throw in... Dude, if you can get Dart, Lamb, and Travis Hunter for Puka and Darnold, oh my god. Free upside. Literally free upside. That is the smash of all smashes. Other than... Like, honestly, to me, Fannin or Bucky feels insulting in that situation. You can try. I'll get my RB2 with DeAndre Swift here. You can try to get Fannin or Bucky. I doubt it happens. But if it's Hunter, yeah, I'm taking that. If they took Lemon, he would completely pop. Yeah, that would worry me more about, like, that's the Rice role. Or at least a lot of it. You know, really good after the catch. I don't think the Chiefs take a wide receiver at 9. I don't. That would be my prediction, is that they don't. I think I'm going to release a draft predictions video, just with some random stuff. I don't know how I'm going to structure it yet, but I think they probably go trenches. I think they go edge, defensive line, or they take another tackle. They don't have a right tackle, and Francis Maui-Noah has been kind of falling in mock drafts recently. I know that Peter Schrager had Jordan Tyson taking Jordan Tyson to the Chiefs at 9 in his mock the other day. So they could, obviously. I just don't think they will. Take going to the Browns, it seems likely. And it would suck. I think Walker is a buy right now as what? Ken Walker? I would buy him at cost, yeah. Like on a contender, I'd send the 104. I think I'd send Nico Collins for Ken Walker. Would I do that? Do my rankings say I would do that? I think they should. 38, and Nico's going to be lower than that. I think Nico's at 41. Yeah. So, yeah, I would send Nico for him. I think that's a good move. I'm a Chiefs fan, and I want edge at 9. If Tyson's goes to KC at 9, is he the wide receiver? Yeah. I don't know if he's... I wouldn't, like... I'm not drafting Tyson ahead of Rice in redraft in that case. I don't even know if I would take... I might take Rice first in Dynasty anyways. Let's go with another running back. I'll take Chuba here. Yeah, like, I might still take Rice in redraft, honestly. Or in Dynasty. It's just... It's hard to project. Like, guys, he's put up 18 points per game. Like, that's insane. That just, like, guys just don't do that. Like, it's just, he's put up insane numbers his entire career. We've had the suspension, we had the injury. It's literally just a question of if the Chiefs commit to him long term. And I don't know. They paid Tyreek Hill. Oh, wide receiver 1 in the class. Well, that would... Consensus, I don't think there's a situation that would vault him there. He's gotten hurt. But look, maybe, you know, Chiefs at 9 kind of tells you that we're not worried about the medicals. Because I look at a guy like Caleb Farley. Any NFL draft fans remember Caleb Farley? Has a back issue. But he's probably like he's easily a top 10 talent in the class. Falls to the Titans in the 20s. The Titans take a shot on him. Always hurt. Never able to, you know, consistently get on the field. I'll take the 204. Never able to consistently get on the field. Just a complete waste of a first round pick. If Jordan Tyson with his talent level falls to like the mid-20s, that scares me because it's a team taking a shot on him rather than saying we're not worried about the medicals. So at 9, that kind of tells me, okay, you know, like, and look, if you look at it, look, we have to look at Dynasty like a market, okay? If Jordan Tyson is a Chief with the 9th overall pick, Carnell Tate is a Brown. And Mekhi Lemon is a Jet. Who could I realistically say is going to have the best rookie year? I'd say it's like Jordan Tyson is like the shoo-in. So, and if Jordan Tyson has the best rookie season out of the three, he's probably the highest value next year. Especially given the fact that in this hypothetical situation, he's tied to Patrick Mahomes. So, for me, just from a perspective of a year from now, what is this going to look like? I might take Tyson ahead of the other guys. Obsidiac, what is going on, man? Good to see ya. From across the pond, it must be like 2 in the morning there. And I just love that you're hanging out. I love that you're hanging out. I'm so happy to have you. We're going to get another mock going here. So my team, Daniels and Kyler at quarterback. Hampton, Swift, and Hubbard at running back. Our wide receiver room is Nico Collins, Brian Thomas, Jamison Williams, Michael Wilson. And then we have Colston Loveland at tight end. I like it. Let's see if anybody can beat me. Do I think anybody is going to beat me? No. Cryptic Rocket's got a shot, I think. Bucky. I like Scattaboo. I'm really low on Bryce Young, though. I'll go Mason Taylor here. We'll see if anybody's able to do it. We will do a second mock draft. We might even do a third. And as we go through these, if anybody has any questions, whatever it is, you got a trade you're thinking about, macro strategy, maybe you're in a startup, whatever it is, rookie drafts, throw your questions in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer each and every one. And for anybody who wasn't here at the very beginning, I will be live next week, normal time, 8 p.m. Saturday. The week after is draft week. I'm not going to be live for day one. I'm not going to be live for round one, but I am going to go live for day two, for rounds 2 and 3. Mr. Ghost wins on the expert average. I'm 9th. Now on the only rankings that matter, you guys couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. It's so fun that I just get to show this complete and utter bias on how I win. I mean, this wide receiver trio just does it for me, you know? Mr. Ghost got close. Jefferson Pickens, Drake May. I like the effort. We're going to get in another one. We're having some issues. I don't know why this isn't loading. Private draft. 30-second clock. It's going to be... See, I don't even have the lobby type. What is going on? Okay. Private. Now we're here. Superflex rookie picks. 12 rounds. We like talking about the later guys. 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, full PPR. I'm not going to do a third round reversal on this one. Or you know what? I'll do another third round reversal and I'll pick at the front of the board. And then maybe the last one we'll do no full round reversal. We'll do, another 30 seconds. We'll do another half-point tight end premium. Can I get in here? We'll do a half-point tight end premium again. Come on. What is going on? Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna go 104. And this will be in the chat. In 3, 2, 1. King Ghost says, my team is amazing. I agree. Everybody's team is amazing. Picked up an orphan yesterday that had 14 firsts over the next 3 years. Some people are absolute animals. Dude, that's such a fun spot to be in. You just got nothing but hope. Nothing but hope and promise ahead of you. Jerry Bob, it is literally rigged. It is. You're right. It is literally rigged. I don't understand how Henderson falls to the 5th. I do understand. Because, yeah, it's just tough, man. That playoff run, him just getting no work and Ramondre getting everything. In a vacuum, I'm taking Ken Walker. And yeah, no, I'm taking Ken Walker because I genuinely think during the season, you'll be able to get like a 27 and 28 first for him. So even if you're on a rebuilder, I would rather wait until the season starts and he's scoring like 20 points per game and then send him for 2 firsts. We've got 4 spots left in this mock, guys. While we're waiting, leave a like on the stream. Leave a like. It would mean the world to me. I'm not going to pretend I understand how the algorithm works, but I know that that helps. So if you could be so kind as to leave a like, I would be forever in debt to you. King Mr. Ghost says he's going to snipe me. Oh, God. Well, then I'm going to snipe you back. What you forget is that I pick before you every round as well, or every second round. You're trying to trade for him. I would send the 104 for Ken Walker on a contender. Absolutely, Brizzleton. I would definitely do that. Do you think Tech could move up like half a round if he has a great year? Dude, he's already going at like the back end of the second. I can't get behind the Tedero McMillan thing. Like, look, he's phenomenal, but is Bryce Young ever going to pass enough? The guy averaged like under 200 yards per game last year. Even with a 30% target share, the ceiling of that is like wide receiver 10. If you're drafting a 22 or 23-year-old at the back end of the second round, he better have a chance of, you know, who just hit 1,000 yards as a rookie. He better have a chance of being like the wide receiver 3. And I don't think that that range of outcomes exists in Carolina. Two spots left. Guys, I had 5 Guys for dinner. I'm feeling the effects. I am like, it's like that burger just like sapped all of the energy from me. I feel like I'm about to fall asleep here. Goddamn, was it worth it though? Woo, it was worth it. Send Pearsall and Mason for Addison. Let's see. One more spot, by the way. I want to see what my trade calculator just says about it. I'm gonna go Atlas because it's a really standard format. Pearsall. We're gonna ignore the teams. Pearsall for Addison. And Mason. No, Mason's on the other side. Jordan Mason. I'm guessing I'm going Addison here. Yeah. Yeah, it's close. I like Jordan Addison. I like Kyler. I think Kyler's going to be good. Yeah. I would take Addison there. Jesse, thanks for hanging out. Malik Willis is the new Jalen Hurts. Oh my God, dude. Malik Willis is an interesting one. Jonah is on my level. We're just, really, Tom? I have no idea why that would be. Everybody else is able to get in just fine. I'm not sure. Are you just clicking the link? Are you signed in? I'm sure you're signed in, you know, but troubleshooting is an interesting game. I think the 49ers take wide receiver. They could. It would definitely be indicative of what they think of Pearsall if they take another one in the first round. Internal server error. Kingo says refresh once you click it. Maybe clicking the link and then refreshing. Malik Willis is, yeah, he's what? He's younger than Tyler Shuck, I think. Contending team, would you pivot? I would. I would. I definitely would pivot off of him on a contender. Tom got in. Let's go. Hey, the 20th time worked. That's all we care. That's all we care about. Let's go. Ah, Tigazzi, I love to hear it. Enjoy, my friend. Think about me during that first sip. All right? Love. Tom, you got in. You're the 101. Tom Lloyd right here. Pearsall's cooked. If they take a it's just injuries, man. Like he obviously misses a huge chunk of his rookie year because he got shot in the chest. And then okay, Tom, go to your main drafts page, and then in the bottom right-hand side, you should be able to click into the draft instead of going to the link that I sent in the chat. Willis is older, really? That shocks me too. That is surprising. I'm on the clock. I went Daniels last draft, even though he is 3rd overall. I'm gonna take the wide receiver here. See how this goes. Let's freaking go. Tom, you got Drake May. I hope that's all right. Yeah, Ricky Pearsall. I get so sidetracked. I apologize. I'm going to get better at this, guys. I feel like all the time I'm talking about something, I read a chat, I bring it up, and then I just completely forget to go back and finish my thought. Ricky couldn't get shot in the chest. Year 1. Year 2, he has that LCL nagging thing. He was awesome for the first, 4 weeks. I had him in the Flock League. He was sick. He was freaking sick. Rick. If you were to trade back from 109 in a startup, what type of compensation would you want? How far would you be willing to move back? Dude, from the 109, I'd go here's what I would do. I would try to go down to anywhere in the 2nd round. Anywhere in the 2nd round. Give me a 2027 first, and I want to jump from my 8th round pick into the 5th or the 4th. That's the kind of deal I'd be looking for. So I drop from the 109 to the late 2nd, early 3rd even. Give me a 27 first, and let me jump from my 8, 9, 10 to 4, 5, 6. Those are the exact deals I'm always trying to get done in startups. Pearsall has flash when he's played. He just hasn't been able to play. Yeah. And then when do the 49ers go, we can't trust this guy to stay on the field? I know that the gunshot wasn't his fault, obviously, and neither is the knee thing. But have they seen enough from him to deter them from drafting a guy like Casey Concepcion, who they think is awesome, right? Pivot down tier, do you have any recommendations for T-Mac? If you're contending, can I get Chris Olave plus, Garrett Wilson plus? Okay, T-Mac for Burden with Burden in a first. Oh my gosh, it's a no-brainer, dude. But yeah, if I'm contending, I'd go down to Nico. I think Jameson is really undervalued right now. You could probably get a big running back or a good quarterback with Jameson Williams for Tyrone McMillan. What does Jason need to do to go before Chase? Play for the Cincinnati Bengals and not have Sam Darnold as his quarterback. That's my main reason for Chase over Jason. Yeah, no touchdowns, right? Or maybe not none, but he didn't score a lot. I know he didn't score any before he got hurt. Yeah, those are the exact deals that I'm always trying to make, Rick. Sorry. We're not that close yet. I can't. Can I call you Ricky? That's funny. Can I call you Ricky? Do you mind? Rick with a phenomenal pick at the 204. I love Marion Hampton, man. I love him. My guy. He's gonna be my guy. He's gonna be my guy through redraft. If Amarian Hampton has a bad year, if Keaton Mitchell is better than Amarian Hampton, you guys won't see me here next year. All right? I'll be one and done. I'll be one and done. Says Ricky Tang. Just don't call me late for draft. All right, deal. You got yourself a deal, son. Give me Jalen Hurts. Thoughts on Egbuka looking to send Chase plus Goff. This is a big deal. Chase plus Goff for the 101. Egbuka and Trevor Lawrence. Yes. You're upgrading at quarterback. And you're downgrading from Chase to Jeremiah Love, but you're getting Amik Egbuka. I would do that. I'd take the 101 side of that. Jerry Bob. Do I think someone would accept Garrett Wilson plus J-Mac? No. Wake up. Do you think someone would accept Garrett Wilson plus Josh Jacobs for Tyler McMillan? I could also maybe tier up to Neighbors. I like tiering up as well, taking advantage of his value there. I don't know if Neighbors is a great target right now just because of the injury stuff. I think somebody would accept Garrett Wilson and Josh Jacobs for Tyler McMillan. I think he'd probably get more than that. And I would try for more than that, but I would take that deal. Tyler McMillan for Garrett Wilson and Josh Jacobs, I would. I definitely would. Trey McBride goes right after Jalen Hurts. Devon Achane. Patrick Mahomes. Cryptic starting Neighbors Lamar Dart. I love it. I love it. Also, another thing with Tyrone McMillan. I don't think you have to sell him because much like Garrett Wilson, right, who we can compare in this situation because I think that it makes sense. A guy who we know the entire time is incredibly talented, but he's not producing because the offensive infrastructure around him, right? Garrett Wilson held a lot of value. A lot of value. He's been like a top 3-round startup pick every offseason. And he's never had like a top 12 point per game season. So he will hold value, so you don't have to sell. Like honestly, on my rebuilding teams, like if I'm not trying to contend in 2026, I'm not like shopping Tyrone McMillan. Because I think he'll hold his value. And if I'm wrong, and he is able to be a top 6 wide receiver, okay, you know, like I think you always have to be. I'm gonna have strong opinions and I'm gonna have takes on stuff, but I'm also, if any content creator that you watch isn't leaving any room for them to be wrong, I don't know if I would recommend listening to that person. But that's just me. Okay. I'll take Brother Bo here. Jonah says, as a T-Mac owner, I would smash accept Garrett Wilson plus Josh Jacobs. Yeah. Garrett Wilson's still 25, right? I think. 25.7, so he'll be 26. But yeah, it's I would definitely I don't have any Garrett Wilson at all. Kind of like, because yeah, that type of player that's just stuck in a terrible offense is not really my cup of tea. I don't mind him for 2026, honestly. Like, I'm drafting a bit of him in best ball just because I think that Geno plus the offensive line can have that offense serviceable enough that he could have a good year. But long term, like what, you're dealing with another rookie next year. Like they probably have a top 5 pick. They probably take a quarterback in 2027. You know, I'd love for that to work out, but he's going to be going into his 27-year-old season next year with a rookie quarterback. So what if year 1 is bad? What if year 1 with that rookie is bad, and then in the 2028 offseason, 2 years from now, he has a second-year quarterback, which had a really bad year 1 because he was a rookie on the Jets, and Garrett Wilson will be going into his 28-year-old season. Disaster. Complete disaster. That'll give you nightmares. So, yeah, like, I'm fine. Garrett Wilson, one of those guys, like, I have no shares, and I am perfectly fine to have no shares. Am I going to get Mr. Tokyo Drift himself at the 404? Mr. Ghost, okay, you know what? I admire a man who sticks to his word. He said he was going to snipe me, and so he's doing it. He knows my rankings. He's got them pulled up. He's a legend because he has a subscription to flockfantasy.com. And so he's sniping me. And all I can say, Mr. Ghost, is I respect it. I respect you. That's about it. That's all I can say. So I'll take the other Kansas City player. I'll take Ken Walker at the 404. The Olave guy has the 106. Oh, yeah. Terrell McMillan in the 106. People are low on the 106. Given that, like, you know, perceived teardrop, Olave in the 106, I love that move. At what point do the Jets just trade him? What'll suck for fantasy is that if he does happen, it'll be like, yeah. Like, I mean, they just extended him. So that's the thing, guys. Like the Jets are not gonna. The Rice was top of my queue, Mr. Ghost. I would have taken him. Yeah, like the Jets do not want to lose. Like that's the thing. Like just trade Garrett Wilson, you know, get value. Like I mean, they have 2 firsts this year. They have 3 firsts next year. They're probably like, we want to be good in 2027 after those 3 firsts next year, and Garrett Wilson's gonna be 27 years old, you know, still in his prime, and we want him for that. So like these bad teams aren't just gonna trade all their good players. It's like the Devon Achane thing. Like the Dolphins are not thinking internally we're gonna be bad for 3 years. You know, they're not. So, Rick, that start is unbelievably fun. Like that start, that's what Dynasty is about, man. Right there. That's what it's about. That is just, dude, you get out of your startup, you're just staring at that roster all night. You have sweet, beautiful dreams about your roster. Meanwhile, my quarterback 1 is a running back. And he's not even the best running back on his team. T. Higgins at the 410. That's a lot higher than I've seen him go. But Joe Burrow stack. What else? What do we got going on here? James Cook. Brasky Pants. Didn't see you in here. Good to have you. Joe Blacko, is this a Joe Flacco thing, or is your name Joe Blacko? I'm interested to know. Steelers by Will is in here. Jerry's in here. I remember Jerry. Ken88 there is in here. Obsidiac from across the pond. Tom Lloyd. Finally got his mock drafts working. Thank goodness. While we're all here, guys, hit the like on the stream if you haven't already. Would greatly appreciate that. Next week, should we do some final rookie mock drafts? That's what I'll do. Next week, we'll do some rookie mocks right before a week before the draft. Maybe we'll do like 3 or 4 different mocks, and I will not have them. Basically, what happened, I'm running off my MacBook. Like, that is all I have. I do not have a PC. I do not have any of that stuff. I've never had a PC. So in terms of like the streaming software, you know, it can only handle so much. Flockfantasy.com is about its limit. As soon as you get any on a page with some ads, I'm toast. So I will put them all into a spreadsheet that will be easily accessible and easy to look at. And that's what we'll do next Saturday. Do a rookie mock with some landing spots. Okay, I'm forced to take him. God, Brian Thomas Jr. better be good, man. I'm terrified. Might be hot, but I'm more concerned about the Panthers than the Jets situation. You know what? I kind of agree with you. Bryce is not the answer and is going to take Carolina longer to begin their search for the future. This is the thing. Garrett Wilson, I think, has a shot at being in an offense that does produce for fantasy. I don't know if the Panthers move off Bryce. And then at what point is Tyrone McMillan in an offense that produces for fantasy? Who are you targeting at the 106? Sadiq? Question mark. Or if there's another wide receiver. That's going to depend on landing spot a lot. What I would say initially is like anything 1.7, anything higher than a 0.5 tight end premium, like 1.75 full point, 100% I'm targeting Sadiq there. It would have to be like Sadiq to the Panthers to deter me from that. In a half point or less, I think you're looking at, I think if Price somehow sneaks into the first round, he's immediately the 106. If Price gets really like a good landing spot on day 2, especially in the top 50, I think he has a shot at the 106. If like Omar Cooper gets a good landing spot in the top 20. What if it's like Omar Cooper to the Rams instead of Mekhi Lemon? Like I think Omar Cooper has a shot at that. KC obviously in that mix. But those are the guys I think. I'm just copying my last draft. I'm going to take Jameson Williams here. Ben Johnson and a room of studs, so I'm chilling for sure. I don't see a world in which this goes bad for you, Rick. Rick must be a Bears fan. Joe Blacko, your name is Jonah. Okay, so it's curious. So is it to do with Joe Flacco? Is that what is that what we're doing? He loves Flacco. Okay. Sure. We need Zach in here roasting the guy who did whatever mock we ended up referencing. Yeah. Zach is one of the funniest guys. He gets me freaking cracking up. I would like to get into Dynasty this year. Never tried. Where would you recommend to go to get into a startup? Oh, if it's your first league sub $500, I would recommend way sub $500. Okay, well, flockfantasy.com. If you have, I think you need to be subbed to link your Discord. I think you need to have a paid subscription to get into the Discord. But if you decide to do that, it's a really good resource as a whole, and you get access to the Discord where that's where you know people are posting league openings, they're posting their startups that they're doing, all that kind of stuff. Other than that, I mean, you can probably find them on Reddit. Like that's probably what I would. Yeah, Jonah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe start at like $50. I mean, if you're a high roller and you got a lot of confidence, I mean, by all means, I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money. Who knows? RCT could be typing this from his yacht. And maybe this $500 is just pennies to him. We don't know. We don't know. But yeah, I'd say if you're not looking to, you know, invest in something like flockfantasy.com and you want to find a league, like just searching on Reddit, I think would probably be your best bet. I'm sure people are posting on there all the time. But also, you know, if you do it through flockfantasy.com, you get with other people that are in the same community, which is always nice. I feel like Marv was a great value this offseason. People discount him because of his dad, but I don't know if people are discounting him because of his dad. think people expected him to be great. I think his dad being, you know, his dad, who his dad is, probably affected people expecting him to be great, but he was also a phenomenal prospect, and he's been really, really disappointing. But would you not say that the 4th overall pick, regardless of how they've performed, deserves to like should have done more, regardless of who their dad is? Would you not say that the 4th overall pick should have done more through 2 years? I don't disagree on the Roma Dunze point, honestly. I'll take Bashal Tootin in the 7th here, but also, like, I know it was touchdowns. Marv has never had a stretch like this. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Roma Dunze guy in the world. I have Rome at 53. Marv is just like, it's just been like, I know he was injured last year, but it's like he just looks disinterested at times. I've seen a lot of Mendoza as the 102, and with the way, I mean, look, if you're in the domain community, they're just pushing quarterbacks down for fun. And yeah, I don't think Mendoza's the 102. It would take, yeah, no, there's no, I think I'm taking Carnell Tate to the Browns over Mendoza. Like, the landing spots would have to, I don't even think there's a world in which Mendoza is my 102. RCT, no yacht, okay. But I have been very good in redraft for the last 6-7 years. It is a wildly different game, I will say. Because your redraft league, like, you need to be set on who you like, who you don't like at the draft. That's the only point in time you need to do that. And then you react to the information, and that's how you make moves. You make a lot of moves in Dynasty not knowing what's going to happen. Not knowing like, you know what I mean? So it definitely is more of a, I'd say it's harder. I would say it's harder, genuinely, especially given that the people that play Dynasty are often more hardcore, you know, fans. They wanted more because, like yourself, they've been in redraft and they've been looking for something that extends into the offseason. Marv was the first Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith's going to be a better prospect than Marvin Harrison. They're not doing it for fun. I don't want to say that. They have reason, like, they have good reasons for it, I think. Okay, CJ Stroud's falling too far. I can't have this. I'll take him in the 8th round. After Sam Darnold, I'm not even in an IDP league. If I was, though, I mean, Travis Hunter exposure would be a lot better. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a scenario in which Mendoza would be my 102. What I will say, here's a good one. Let's say Carnell Tate. I don't want to say he's a Brown. At 6 overall. I don't think he falls out of the top 10. Let's say Carnell. This is something that's actually realistic. Let's say Carnell Tate is a Brown at 6. Referencing this comment. Colonel Tate's a Brown at 6. Okay. Mekhi Lemon is a Jet at 16. And Jordan Tyson is a Panther at 19. Okay. Let's just say that. In that world, I might say it's like Carnell Tate is probably like leading the tier, but it's like mostly flat. And just take whoever you want because they're all bad. Yeah, I don't mind the Reddit take there. Yeah, I mean, if you really have I would say if you really have a desire to manage a league through the offseason, there's no bet. Like, Dynasty's the best. It's so fun. It's such a good time. And there are so many resources out there now to, you know, assist with just like how I always looked at it even before I started making content was I would just like consume as much information as possible to get all these different perspectives, right? Like I'd watch Mason, I'd watch Zach, there were podcasts that I would listen to weekly, like just hearing all of this information to then, form my opinion. Rick won't have any Fernando Mendoza slander. Tate to Baltimore, Lemon to the Jets. Tyson falls outside the top 20. See, yeah, but Tyson is already being put, like Tyson, I wouldn't consider him in that tier if he falls outside the top 20, honestly, because they would just scare the injury. That would just tell me that the teams are scared about the injuries, because on talent, he's in the same tier, in my opinion. I agree with Domain's reasoning for pushing QBs down. I find it incredibly difficult to move elite quarterbacks compared to other elite assets. I think it's just like, once the teams that want them, like it's rare that a team is like moving into a contending window and is able to trade for Josh Allen. Heck yeah. That's what I love to hear. I would say, what am I doing here? I'll go Devontae. Open-mindedness is always good, but like I've always, formed my own opinions and that kind of thing. But looking to people who spend a lot of time on this to form opinions and do research and stuff like that, it's a good way to just, hear different perspectives. Last thing you want to do is just like think, oh, okay, I think that, I don't think that the Giants are drafting Jeremiah Love, so I'm going to draft Cam Scatterboo in the 4th round of my startup when you could get him in the 7th. And if you had just heard another perspective, you would, that kind of thing. It's league dependent for quarterbacks. I have a few leagues where you couldn't buy a top 10 to 15 quarterback with 2 firsts. Yeah, people, like, it's the kind of thing where, like, there's a lot of leagues, especially, like, the not as trade crazy ones. Like, a lot of people will be like, okay, I have 2 quarterbacks. Let's say I have Bo Nix and Jordan Love, right? I don't have a quarterback 3. A lot of people will be like, I'm not trading Jordan Love if I'm not getting a quarterback back, because now I don't have a second quarterback. When it's like, okay, if you like the value, you should trade Jordan Love, and then you should go buy a quarterback in a different deal. But people don't want to trade for a chore, which is unfortunate, because that's just the way that some people look at it, which I would like to not play with those people. But yeah, then because people just don't, they're holding on to them. And then in other leagues, they're, it is interesting though, because like, I think that, if you disagree with it and you're playing in a league with people that are following the domain strategy and you think that quarterbacks should be valued how they have been previously, take advantage of it. Buy them low. Get 2 elite ones and try and win your championship with frickin' Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow. Okay, I've got 3. I don't have a tight end. There isn't really one I want to take here. I'll take a shot on Ricky. We've talked about him a little bit today. Feels like QB deals always have to include, especially with teams that are trying to compete. Like if I've sent people trade offers. This team's like a complete rebuild, right? And I'm offering him picks for Bo Nix. And Bo Nix, he has Caleb Williams and Bo Nix, and I'm sending picks for Bo Nix, and he's a rebuild. He's like, oh, well, this would leave me with no QB2. And I'm like, you don't need a QB2. Your team sucks, and you should be doing everything you can to get the 101 next year. Even people who aren't trying to compete are like, I have to have my quarterback too. So the guy that has Olave in the 106, Jerry Bob, I gotta say, I love that you're just doing this negotiation live. This is so much fun for me. I love that the guy that has Olave in the 106 wants Rico and T-Mac. Rico Dowdle? So you offered him T-Mac for Olave in the 106, and he wants Rico Dowdle? If that's what he's saying, yes, I'll take that. I will take that. Another league I traded the 106 and the 107 for Lamar. Wow. That's wild. That is such a good deal for Lamar. Cryptic has a contending roster that was in dire need of a quarterback, and he has some depth to spare. I still settled for just flipping the 109 for Kyler. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. That's a phenomenal move. I really like Kyler. Rick likes Kyler too. And Rick knows what he's talking about. So... yeah, exactly. Jerry, I'm the same way. I have like a group chat with two buddies that I've been playing Dynasty with for a while now. Even me, somebody who is like insanely confident in all of my opinions, I'll still be like, you know, what do you guys think of this? And sometimes they'll be like, Sam, that sucks, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm doing it anyways. How do you feel about dude, Kincaid is a disaster. Like, I just don't. They're talking about it in April that they're gonna have to limit him. Isn't this the time to be like, oh, he'll be fine by training camp? Isn't that's what April's for? April is for everybody who has an injury being ahead of schedule. And Dalton Kincaid, like, there isn't a surgery to help him. He's gonna be limited. They're saying this in April. Terrifying. Terrifying. RCT, I'm with you, man. I cannot wait either. Your predictions. Love to the Titans at 4. I would take it. Tate to the Giants at 5. That is an interesting one. Sniping the Browns there. Lemon to the Dolphins and Jonah Coleman in the first round. Okay, you had me in the first 3. That is Jonah Coleman to the Seahawks is in the first round is insanely spicy. I don't think there's any way that happens. He's been falling to day 3 in like most mock drafts. But Lemon to the Dolphins at 11, I would really like. Like, I would take Lemon over Tate in that situation pretty easily. Pretty easily. I would love Jeremiah Love to come to my Tennessee Titans. I would definitely like that. For anybody that's just hopping in, when the stream is done, if you want to go check out my new video from yesterday, talking about the age 27 wide receiver value cliff, what it means for what it's meant in the past, what it means for the currently 27 wide receivers, I would appreciate if you want to check that out. I think it's a really good video. Ooh, do I double? I'm going to double tap tight end here. I'll go Isaiah Likely in the 12th round. Maybe 64. 64 would still be higher than he's currently being predicted. But yeah, that would be very good. I'd be all in on that, honestly. I think Jonah Coleman's going to be really good. And I think he will go on day 3. And I think he'll go on day 3 and he'll be really good. Which is it's a contrasting statement, right? But it's kind of like Cam Scatterbo. The athleticism drops him. But if he gets on a team where they agree to give him the workload, maybe his like job security will never be as good as a more elite athlete at the position. But when he is given opportunity, I think he'll produce. Kind of like a Bucky or a Kyron, right? I honestly think Kyron is a really good comp. Really good film. A lot of the film watchers really, really liked Kyron. He runs in the 4.6s, falls to day 3. Jonah Coleman didn't run, but he might as well have run a 4.6. Oh, Mulatto, there's no cinnamon in the mock drafts here on the Sammy Stacks channel. This is what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking it'll be the beginning of day 3. Little sneak peek for you guys. I don't know if anybody saw, but a while back, I will look at the post-draft review in a second. I recorded over on the Dynasty Price Check channel. He does a lot of good stuff. I was on his channel. This video here. You can see your boy on there. He does a trade show, just going through trades. It was a lot of fun. We're recording again tomorrow, and we're doing a rookie mock for my channel. And in the mock draft I sent him, Jonah Coleman is a San Francisco 49er in the 5th round. And I'm just like licking my lips looking at that. Like CMC gone in a year, Jonah Coleman in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Love it. Okay, Expert Rankings has Obsidiac winning from across the pond. God, we're getting our lunch money taken from a guy who is like barely awake right now. My rankings, did anybody beat me? Guys, you gotta step up your game. Come on. Come on. Thank you, Tom. Solid watch. I'll take it. I will take it. Would you have taken any players where I took picks? Let's look. Let's take a look, Ken. Ken, you took a lot of picks. Here, this is actually a fun game because we can talk about the rookie picks here. 102. Off the top of my head, maybe Rice. But I think that's fine value. 104. I'm taking Burden over the 104. 106. Give me... no, 106 I like. 108. You know what? You did well here. I really like the value of all the picks. I bet you my rankings like them too. You're 9th. That's probably Daniel Jones, though. Well, and you just have nothing else because you took all the picks. But no, I don't mind where you took the picks. On a rebuilder, you probably want to sell Dak now and CD, but it's not bad. I'm gonna get one more started up. 30 seconds, super flex, 10 rounds. We'll go no 3rd round reversal for this one. And let's do it. Let's get in there. Come on. Where am I going to go this time? I'll go... What, I went 104. I went 108. I'll go 106. I like to be in the middle just so I can talk as much as possible and not have to make 2 picks in a row. 3, 2, 1. Bang. Okay, the Cardinals pick at 3 is where things make it interesting. I can see them trading back to fleece some team wanting to splash all in for love. Yeah, it's hard to imagine a team trading up into the top 5 for a running back. That would just be crazy asset allocation, like something we've never seen before. But it's possible. Which side do you like? Caleb Williams and Terrell McMillan for Hurts, Javonte, Alec Pearson, 106. Ugh, God. I don't like giving up. Like, I like Jalen Hurts. I don't think you're getting market value here. I think you're paying, like, what I think of him. It's really close. I'd want, like, a better player than Pierce. Or I'd want a top 5 rookie pick, I think. I'm probably taking Caleb and Tet, I think. Obsidiac, this is thanks to you. Last time, last place. Listen to your advice. Won my startup last night. I saw your comment. Evolved. Dude, I love to see it, man. I love to see it. Would you trade Nico and Tootin for the 101? I would. Jerry Bob agrees. Go rob the dude with the 101. We are started. Heck yeah, guys. How many people do we have in here right now? How many? Got 47 concurrents. God, you guys are the best. You know that? Genuinely. I look forward to Saturday night every week. Just these streams are such a blast for me. And that wouldn't be possible without you guys coming to hang out. So I truly, truly appreciate it. How do you feel about 3rd round reversal? I've heard some people say it's mandatory, but TBH, I don't. I would still say I'd rather have it. Here's my thing. If you turn off 3rd round reversal, the top like 6 picks are so much better in my opinion. That's why I like it, because it just I just think it does balance it more. Because the dip, this is the argument, right? The drop from the top 3 to the bottom 3 of the first round is a bigger drop from the 201, 203 to the back end of the second. That's the argument you're making. Drake May at the 105. Sure. I don't know exactly what you're referencing, Cryptic. Maybe the Jeremiah Love thing? I don't know. Streams at another reason why Saturday night is the best night of the week. Appreciate you, Jerry. Would you take Travis Hunter in the 13th round in a startup? Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yes. Now. I take him right now. Do it. Third round reversal favors the end of the first round picks. I don't even think that that's necessarily true. Like, we can look at how the first 2 rounds go here. But I bet you're going to say that, like, Lamar and whoever you get at the 203 is pretty similar to Allen and the 210. So then, yeah. And then you're getting the best asset over here. That's why I think third round reversal is better. But at the end of the day, like, it's a nitpick, right? It's a team trades up for Love. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it's certainly possible. I would be surprised. You're already making a decision that doesn't go along with history. It doesn't, analytically people say you shouldn't take a running back in the top 10, all this kind of stuff, and now you're going to trade capital to do it. Look how much heat the Jags are taking for potentially drafting a corner, trading up for him, right? Now imagine that's a running back and your team sucks. This is true. I don't know. And year to year, it definitely changes. And I think that this year more than any, there's an argument to not have a third round reversal. Because before it was like the top 5 quarterbacks were going 101 through 105. That's just not the case this year. So, I just don't know if there's ever going to, even the way it is now, you have, like, Malik Neighbors is a pretty big step down from JSN and Jamar Chase. I'm gonna try tight end early here. I'm gonna go Brock Bowers, see if I can push the quarterbacks. Like, it's just, I doubt that we'll ever be in a world where the 101 to the 112 is flat enough to a point where I don't think that third round reversal is better. You did draft Hunter? Good. See? If he only ends up being a corner, that's going to look really, really bad. Mulatto, here's what I'm going to get you to do. At the beginning of the stream, I did a rant on the Jaguars about this report that isn't a report. And nobody has said that it's no longer a 50-50 split and that he's only going to play corner. I'm not saying what he will do, but what was circulating on, what was it, Thursday, was not accurate. Nobody said he's not playing wide receiver anymore. Nobody said he's playing full-time corner. That was not said by anybody from the Jaguars. It wasn't. You got to be careful on the the everything app streets. You really got to be careful. Okay. After Bowers, we had London, McBride, Mahomes, Devon Achane. Guys, if somebody take Loveland, please. Because I'm just going to feel so dumb taking Bowers at the 207 if Loveland falls to the 306. But I take him every draft, so I couldn't possibly do it again. I couldn't possibly. While we're waiting, fake news. Yes, that's right. While we're getting through this last draft, this will be the last draft. For anybody wondering, for draft weekend, I'm not going to stream the first round, but I will be streaming on I will be streaming for day 2. So the Friday night. Next week I'm going to do Saturday like normal. Draft week I'm going to stream Friday night. I'll probably stream Saturday night as well after the draft as a whole has concluded. Maybe do some mocks. Or maybe if Zach, I think Zach might be streaming Saturday night. Maybe I'll hop on his channel for that. Okay, I have to pass on my boy. I'll go Trevor here. I went Bo last draft. I would be shocked if Jeremiah Love falls past the Commanders at 7. Like, he's good enough to go there. It's just, is he good enough to is he good enough to be traded up for in that spot? That's where I'd say maybe not. Loveland was all mine, and he was definitely top of my board after Hurts went off, but I'm not gonna double dip at tight end. But that's why I won't take Bowers in the second. I wouldn't do it in a startup right now because I can get Loveland around later, and I don't see that big of a difference in them. Which is largely my being super high level. But honestly, I'm not like sky high on him compared to the rest of the site. Davis and Danny have him at 26. Mason has him at 26 or 27. Like, this is not crazy, guys. The market has caught up. I've been here. Go watch my the buy video I did in frickin' January. I was all in immediately. Tin Man, good to see you, my friend. I agree. Rick, I love how Rick just won't say anything for like 30 minutes, and then as soon as I say anything that isn't complimentary of the Raiders, he says no comment in the chat. This is your comment, pal. That's exactly what you're doing. Okay, so look, let's look at some teams that did similar things, because I want to get an idea of the third round reversal stuff. Okay, I want to look at Brasky and Obsidiac. So Allen, Mahomes, Pickens, Amon-Ra Caleb Bonix. I think it's probably pretty close. And then I think Browner and Joe Blacko are good comparable too. Bijan, Achane, the 102. Let's say Tate. Bijan, Achane, Tate. Neighbors, Genty, Cook. Like, I'm definitely taking this. Joe, I don't mind your squad. I don't. Loveland, Bowers, Warren in my 2. Dude, you've got a freaking monopoly on the league, man. I struggle to understand how NFL GMs can see the uselessness of drafting a top running back on a bad team and proceed to do it again. Here's the thing, though. Like, the Raiders weren't bad because they drafted Ashton Genty. I'll take Luther Burden. The Raiders weren't bad because they drafted Ashton Genty. The Giants didn't fail in the Saquon Barkley era because they drafted Saquon Barkley. The Falcons haven't missed the playoffs for 3 years because they drafted Bijan Robinson. One player does not make that much of a difference. When a player is dropped into an untenable situation, there's really nothing that he can do. Like, I don't think the Raiders sucking last year makes Genty a bad pick. Sure, did they also need an offensive lineman? Yeah. And there were better ones on the board to take, but that doesn't, like, I don't think that specific situation means don't draft a running back in the top 10. I think it means if there's a good offensive lineman on the board, which last year there were, Kelvin Banks was available. Last year wasn't Fashanu, but Membu, who went to the Jets, was available. Like, there were good offensive linemen on the board. The Raiders should have taken one of those. That's not really the case this year. Like, if the Titans take Jeremiah Love at 4, they're passing on, you know, an edge rusher with warts, or a safety, or a linebacker, or a wide receiver who a lot of people are saying probably projects better as a wide receiver 2 at the NFL level. Like, it's all case by case dependent, I think. Joe Blacko, my squad looking goofy. Yeah, no, I like it. Dak is an interesting pick there, though. I took over an orphan roster for a 12-team Superflex Dynasty League, but start 13. Dude, I mean, pile up on the late tight ends because you're going to have to play them, and they're going to have a lot of value, and they're going to score a lot of points. Bump them all up, like everybody, several rounds. And here's what you can do. On Sleeper, you can go to your league. You can go to the, like, there should be like a leaders button on like the player page. Go to the leaders button, and you should be able to see like the scoring, and you can compare like how much Brenton Strange scored compared to, you know, Nico Collins last year in that specific scoring format. I've taken Brian Thomas every draft. I'm gonna go Chase Brown here, switch it up a little bit. Cryptic decided to try a different strat for this one. I'm already regretting it. Cryptic 101 Hampton 103 Ken Watt. That's interesting. You're going high T. Good running backs help develop young quarterbacks. A good running game is really good for a young quarterback. So, like, if Jeremiah Love comes into Tennessee, I think that he'll be as valuable as Carnell Tate for Cam Ward. I truly believe that. Correct. This was not because they drafted Ashton Genty. Was it the best pick to make? Probably not. That doesn't mean that you should never take a running back in the top 10. Yeah, I bet Rick knows too. K Bizzle. I traded Andrews, Dowdle, Parker Washington, and a 28 third for a top 6-ish 27 first. Emmanuel Wilson and Jerry Jeudy. Smash. So basically you said, here, sir, I have 3 peanuts. Can I have your $1? And he said, 3 peanuts? I don't have any peanuts. Here's $2. Phenomenal move. Even as a contender, like, I mean, sure, you maybe lost a little bit of production because I obviously like Dowdle more than Emmanuel Wilson, and I like Parker Washington more than Jerry Jeudy. But getting that top 6 first, that pick is gold right now. Yeah, no, look, this is true, but at the same time, it's all about, like, if you're telling me Carnell Tate is Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Jeremiah Love is Saquon Barkley, give me Carnell Tate. But the reality is that it's more likely that Jeremiah Love is Saquon Barkley and Carnell Tate is like T. Higgins. And T. Higgins probably still makes more money than Saquon. But does that mean he's more valuable? The NFL teams think so. I just, you know, there's also a chance that Carnell Tate is freaking, you know, not that good, right? So it's if the hit rate is the same, if they're guaranteed to be the same level of good at their position, give me the wide receiver every time. That is just flat out not the case in the situation. Nick, what's up? Would you trade Brees a mid-27 first? Sniping me. I'll go Jalen Waddle. Brees a mid-27 first, probably 105 to 107, and DJ Moore for Devon Achane. No, I'm keeping the package there. That's way. I'm worried. I'm a little worried about Achane just with the Miami Dolphins being terrible and seemingly not wanting to trade him. But yeah, no, I'm keeping that. That's too much for me, I think. I'm keeping the package there. That's the main difference between this year and last year. Just a bad class overall makes VPA regardless of position. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing with Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs. Like, if there's not a blue chip offensive lineman or a blue chip edge rusher, it makes more sense to take the guy that you think is going to be really, really good at a less valuable position. I agree to an extent, but this just ignores what I just said about the odds of them each being good. Right? Because Jeremiah Love is a much better prospect than Carnell Tate is. That's just a fact. Currently ranked as a juggernaut on the site. You're talking about the HN trade. Yeah, I think it's an overpay. I'd rather do that. I would rather make that move for Hampton or Genty. That's what I would rather do. Or the 101. Try and get Jeremiah Love. Look at this. I've been convinced on third universal. Yeah, I just think it balances it. And I still don't think you're upset with a top 6 pick because you get such an elite asset. Okay, give me Josh Jacobs. This is a weird team. The running back in the top 10 thing is simply as a money metric for owners. A top wide receiver, defensive lineman, offensive tackle on a rookie contract is more valuable. Yes, because like Jeremiah Love is going to come into the league and immediately be a top 10 paid running back. Whereas Carnell Tate, if drafted in the same spot, would be like the 40th highest paid wide receiver. But that specific argument does not take into effect the likelihood that that player will be good. Just got Neighbors and 107 for Pitts and 102 the other day. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, like just the elite playmaker type, like I completely get both sides of the argument. And I understand people who are like, I'm just never going to draft a running back in the top 10. I get it. I'd rather take the swing. But, like, look, taking swings on offensive linemen, that gets you fired. Like, Saquon Barkley, like, looking at the Giants situation with Barkley, right? Because you have all the hindsight of what happened. Saquon Barkley was not the correct pick to make, like, potentially, right? It clearly didn't bring them much success at all. Does that mean he was a bad pick? I don't think anybody would say that Saquon Barkley wasn't worth a top 5 pick. Yeah. So, yeah, it's weird. Tate is worth more than 20 a year, I bet. He could be. He could be. Tate gets too many Corey Davis comps. I don't see that. I want Salah to have his running back one. I think Jeremiah Love is a lot of fun, and I think he'll be good for Cam Ward, and I think that he scores more touchdowns than anybody else in this draft, and the Titans do not score touchdowns right now. I've been burned before. Yeah, I mean, Corey Davis was a disaster. Imagine the Falcons just let Algier do his thing after having a 1,000. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, like... If, like, here's the thing. Bijan is a hit. They need to be good at drafting other things. The Falcons just traded a future first-round pick for an edge rusher with character concerns who now, after doing stupid stuff this offseason, may never play a down of football ever again. So do the Falcons suck because they drafted Bijan Robinson? No. They do not. Is there, like, the player that they could have drafted at a more impactful position? Is there would he be as good of an offensive tackle as Bijan is a running back? I don't, off the top of my head, remember that draft class completely. But again, it's situation by situation. With Genty, I do think the Raiders should have taken Armand Membu or Kelvin Banks. And I would have said that at the time, too. In this draft... There's not an edge rusher that I think that is good enough at 4 overall to take over Jeremiah Love, who for a lot of people will be the #1 overall player in this draft, if you're not counting position. Nick, this is your HN trade thing I think you're going off of. I already have the 101 from a previous trade. Could try Hampton. Doubt I can get Genty from the person who haven't. Well, in that case, if your running back room, try Hampton. If your running back room doesn't need a lot of help, then try and get a wide receiver in that range too for that package, if that's really what you want to do. But also, I don't mind holding Breece Like, I don't know what your team is. I think you're switching to the draft thing here. I don't know if oh shit. I just auto picked. I'll take the 201. Can I turn off auto pick, please? Please, sir. Okay. Yeah, if you're contending, I'll keep Brees in that 27 first. I'll try and move that 27 first to help me mid-season. Keep DJ Moore. I'm fine with that as well. If Tate was Jamar level, exactly, 100%. Barkley got Daniel Jones paid. See, like that was a bad decision. Paying the quarterback over Saquon Barkley was clearly a bad decision, I think. I'm 100% happy with Jetty Bits rumor that was Pete's pick and our GM's guy. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a John Spytek thing to do based on his history with the Bucks. But I think that we'll, you know, in like a decade's time or maybe like half a decade, they're gonna come out with a bunch of stuff about how Pete Carroll was an absolute disaster in 2025 with the Raiders. Just like completely going berserk, doing whatever he wanted, ignoring John Spytek. Are you worried about Olave at all if they draft a wide receiver at 8? Yeah. I'm worried about, you know, his target share probably. I'm worried about his, you know, future as an alpha. He needs to get paid too. They haven't paid him yet. Tom, we're well into this one. And this will be the last one of the night. So there will not be another draft, unfortunately. But come back next week. Blaming it on Bijan while they spend a top 10 pick and invest in 100 million in the same position in offseason. Yeah, like the freaking the Falcons are. Yeah, I didn't even mention the Michael Penix, Kirk Cousins stuff. The Falcons paid Kirk Cousins $180 million and then drafted Michael Penix with a top 10 pick. That is why they suck. It is not because they took Bijan in the first round. Yeah, brother, I don't think you need to upgrade to a Hampton here. I would just keep this. I would keep your package. I would keep that 27 first. I would try to move it during the season to upgrade. And yeah. Yeah, keep DJ Moore. Try and win a chip. Joe Blacko, in theory, my team is elite. Lots of draft picks. I don't know what you're referring to, but I agree. Yeah, you got a good team, Nick. My theory with Brees is either they'll feed him or he's leaving. So I'm holding or buying. I don't think there's a guarantee they feed him on the franchise tag, honestly. Obsidiac, you are smoking us tonight, dude. Dalcho beats me. It's the Brian Thomas pick, isn't it? That's what it is. Good work, Dalcho. Dalcho wins. Dalcho wins the night. Before I get out of here, I'll finish all these comments. Yeah, they don't... Yeah, okay. Cryptic was getting sniped. K Bizzle, I recently traded Algier for Jalen McMillan, the 212, and a 27 third. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't think Algier does very... He's never been a pass catcher in his career. That could change. He's also on a really bad offense. Or like they're not going to be as good as they were last year, I don't think. Especially not the, you know, I don't think the running game benefits from being down in a bunch of games. I definitely don't think Algier is the one out of Connor and Benson that's going to benefit from that. This is honestly, it kind of does come down to this. Like, I mean, you look like it didn't matter. Yeah, you need a quarterback, which is funny because all this discussion doesn't really matter if Cam Ward isn't good. Later today, I'm in a startup that includes rookies. Oh, wow. Okay. What round do you start taking rookies? I do think they're pushed. This is a good point. I'm in one league where we do the rookie draft before the NFL draft. We've already done the rookie draft, and I do devalue every pick because of it a little bit, because you just don't know. What I would say, Obsidiac, is focus on where guys are being projected right now. Don't just look at rankings, because rankings will have Jonah Coleman at, you know, the back end of the first round in terms of a value. He'll be like the 112. but he's getting mocked on day 3 everywhere. And he won't be the 112 if he's a day 3 pick. So I would just like take that stuff into account. But yeah, I would in general devalue rookies. What round do I start taking them? Jeremiah Love, I'm not really switching. I would take him where the 101 goes. But I'd probably take Mekhi Lemon and Carnell Tate, you know, 3-4 turn, maybe into the 4th round. Fernando Mendoza in like the Baker, Goff, Dak, Love tier, that kind of thing. Glenn seems to love him. Yeah, I mean, maybe. It seems like all the bad teams made bad decisions. I mean, the Titans are about to do it, so I wouldn't blame you. If I was the GM of one of these bad teams, I'd trade away all my top 10 picks for future picks until I found a quarterback. Look, people say like just take a swing every year. 21-29 is the Super Bowl in Vegas. That's the timeline. For the Raiders, I like it. They do have a lot of other needs, but their wide receiver 2 is Devon Vele. So I would say that is a big need as well. And I think that even having Chris Olave, you have, like, teams are putting 2 wide receivers on the field, right? Unless you're the Rams, you know, and you play 13 personnel. So teams are going to value that wide receiver 2 technically, right? You are very welcome, Nick. I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. Also, this might be scorching, but I still don't think Gibbs was the right pick at 12. Oh, that's such a tough thing. That's really tough, Jonah. Because you look at that and it's like, Gibbs is just such a difference maker. But again, like, he's not going to make the same money that JSN did, right? He's not going to come close. The Falcons made a huge mistake, and all those guys who made that choice are gone now. Yep. All your advice again, taking players I never used to skip players that I wasn't personally attached to rather than taking the best available. Thank you again for the advice. Obsidiac, I am so happy that you are learning and growing in your journey. And I love being here for it. I do think Jalen McMillan is a good sleeper. I do think the Bucks could add somebody, though. RCT, keep up the great work. Have a good night. I'm out. Thank you for hanging out, my friend. I hope to see you next week. Rick, I got you. Next week? Or the week next time I do a Dynasty startup, which might be a little while from now. I need to do the 109. I did one from the 108 tonight, so it'll be pretty similar. Right? And Rick, if your draft is coming up, I'll be here next Saturday too. So you can ask me all the questions you would like. I do think that is it. A few things before I get out of here. Check out Dynasty Price Check. He does a lot of great stuff. But also, go check out this video. A lot of good information about the age cliff for wide receivers. What to do with the currently 27-year-old wide receivers there. It's way out? Okay. Then yeah, I'll be here the entire time, Rick, and I got you. I'll definitely do a 109 mock for you at some point. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like on the stream. Reminder, I'll be live next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. The week after is draft week. I'm not going to be live night 1, but I will be live day 2 and maybe day 3 in the evening. Maybe on the the Dynasty Land channel. I don't know. We'll see. But that'll be all. Jerry, appreciate you hanging out, my man. Appreciate you being on time. You love to see it. But that'll be all for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate you all hanging out with me. I have a blast every week on these streams. And yeah, I will catch you all. Video probably out this week at some point. But yeah, I will catch you all sometime next week, maybe the next stream. Peace out. All love.